Hey everyone, welcome back to the Bronco Garage. Monster Mike, and today I'm going to show you how to install your master cylinder to your brake booster or your hydro boost. Now, before we get started, you can go down in the description below and you can go to the video where you learn how to install your brake booster on your Bronco. What this is showing you how to put the master cylinder on there, and I've included the hydro boost as well, just so you get all the tech all in one place. Okay, so what I have here in front of me is a all aluminum cast master cylinder, and more of a classic style. And then of course a premium upgraded master cylinder that's powder coated. And between the two, they're very similar, as well as the setup on the power booster and the hydro boost. Now, as you see, that there's a rod sticking out right here, and that rod has to go inside the master cylinder. But it also has to be just the perfect depth that sticks inside there, or it's not going to work right. Now, you're going to have a few tools you're going to need to gather up before you get started, and these are going to be simulated, but they would be installed on your Bronco before you did this. First tool that you're going to want is vice grips, and then a 5/16 wrench, could be open or closed, and some tape, small washer, small thin washer, as thin as possible would be best, and then Loctite. First things first, you're going to want to test fit this master cylinder onto the booster. Now you take these nuts out of the way and we're going to fit it up, and you'll notice that it just fits on there no problem. Well, you want there to be some interference so you know if there is a fitment issue. And what I'm getting at is you want this plunger here to be almost touching the back side of inside the master before you know that it's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little washer inside the master cylinder, and then I'm going to feed it back onto the booster. Still fits on there absolutely no problem, so that's a problem. All right, so what you're going to do is you can actually pull this rod out. See how it pulls out like that? And then if you want to protect the cadmium plating on the rod itself, you want to grab some tape. You want to wrap it around right here on the end. I'll put a couple wraps of tape around the end there. You want to grab your vice grips. It's very important that they're vice grips. And now you're just going to back your vice grips out until it clamps on nice and tight. And then I like to use the closed end of the wrench to do this. And now I'm going to just hold this booster rod as tight as I can and break free the end that's threaded on. Now keep in mind that this end that's threaded is also got Loctite on it, so it's not supposed to move very easily. You're going to have to break free that Loctite and then back this threaded rod out until you make engagement with your master cylinder. Okay, now with your threaded rod out a couple turns, you're going to put the rod back in, and now you're going to test fit again with the same washer inside the master and test fit it again. Keep going until the master cylinder does not seat up against the power booster. When you're test fitting your master cylinder to the power booster, just remember that the tape that you put on there, you want to try to keep it all the way up front right here, because if it goes too far back, it could actually change your test results. So just be careful of that. And that's what you're looking for right there. Okay, so I have backed this threaded rod out until the master cylinder is not able to seat up to the face of your power booster. And now that I've got that to do that, I now know that I have the engagement I need, and I'm going to take the washer back out and go ahead and install the master cylinder in there. So you got your master cylinder set, and it's time to button things up. Make sure you take the tape back off the end. So make sure you use some red Loctite and put 1 drop of that red Loctite on the end here. What I suggest you do is you just mark the threads and then remove this, drop the Loctite on the threads, thread it back on to exactly where it was or where it's supposed to be. You might have to just set it one more time, and then you're ready to bolt your master cylinder up to your power booster, and you're done. That's it. That's how you do it. Now, for all of you that really like the juicy tech to know the precision in this whole science, the end here is supposed to go into the bore of the master, and it's supposed to be 20 thousandths away from making contact. So that's why we use a washer to help us make that contact adjustment. Now, the washer itself, probably not exactly 20 thousandths. We're getting close though, you know, we're within a threshold that we can work with. So all the rest of us, we're going to use the washer, we're going to mount the master cylinder, and we're going to keep going. If you want it to be exactly 20 thousandths, go in the description below. I've got a link in there for a tool that you can buy, so it is absolutely perfect. Now, you're probably wondering, why doesn't James Duff just go ahead and set these up right now? Well, because these are used with all different types of master cylinders, and they're all set up a little differently. You just want to make sure that you're making the final adjustments on your Bronco so you get it just right. Moving on, you'll notice that there's a couple of pills that are in front of these 2 master cylinders, and these are actually for different styles of boosters or Hydro Boost. Now, we do include those pills in most of these setups, and you're not likely going to be able to use them if you're using the parts that are sold by James Duff. But again, they are there, and just wanted to let you know what they're there for. It's mostly because the master cylinders are set up to be a universal bolt-on option, meaning they can work between GM or Ford setups, or even your custom setup if you've got one. Now, you'll notice that everything on the Hydro Boost side is a little simpler. You'll actually not be getting a pill if you buy Hydro Boost, and the pill will not be needed at all, and you will want to install just like that. No measuring, no adjusting, it just goes right on and it works. The one thing that is a little different with the premium style master cylinder is the pill itself also has an O-ring, and if you do happen to buy a master cylinder from James Duff with the pill and it is installed or you put it in yourself, you'll notice that the O-ring creates a little back pressure. You'll also notice that if you try to install the master cylinder with a Hydro Boost unit bought from James Duff, it's not going to happen. It's as far as it can go, and if you try to go any further than that, you'll most likely destroy the Hydro Boost unit and be out a lot of money. So please, don't bother with it. If they do send you the pill, it was probably by accident. Make sure you chuck it and move on. Alright guys, well thanks again for joining us, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. I've got a lot of great new videos, some awesome tech, and of course, we've got more to talk about with brakes. We'll catch you next time.